What if I told you that the person you are today was not created by your biggest achievements, but by the moments when life broke you, challenged you, disappointed you, and forced you to grow? Think about it. There were moments when you felt lost. People you trusted walked away. Plans you were sure would work suddenly failed. You gave your best, but still didn't get the result you wanted. And maybe, at that time, you thought, why is this happening to me? But years later, you look back and realize, those moments were not destroying you. They were building you. There are certain things in life that change you forever. Not because someone gave you a speech about them, but because you experienced them yourself. And today, when I look at who I am, I realize that so much of me was created by things I never wanted to experience. One of the biggest things I learned is that people change. Someone can be extremely close to you today and become a stranger tomorrow. At first, that hurts. You keep asking yourself what went wrong. You replay old conversations. You wonder whether you should have done something differently. But eventually you understand something important. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay in your life. Some people come to support you. Some come to challenge you. Some come to teach you something, and some simply become a chapter in your story. And that's okay. I stopped forcing people to stay. Because when someone truly wants to be there, you don't have to constantly convince them of your value. Another thing life taught me is that failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of it. There were times when I thought failing meant I wasn't good enough. But failure doesn't always mean you're incapable. Sometimes it simply means your current approach isn't working. You try. You fail. You learn. You adjust. And you try again. The person who never fails may never be pushing themselves far enough. So now, instead of asking, why did I fail? I try to ask, what is this failure trying to teach me? Because a failure that teaches you something is never completely wasted. Life also taught me that you cannot control everything. You can control how hard you work. You can control your attitude. You can control your decisions. But you cannot control what other people think about you. You cannot control who stays. You cannot control every outcome. And you definitely cannot control everything that happens to you. For a long time, we waste so much energy trying to control things that were never in our hands. But peace begins when you learn to say, I will do everything I can, and then I will let go of what I cannot control. That doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding the difference between effort and obsession. Another thing that changed me was realizing that time is more valuable than money. Money can sometimes come back. Opportunities can come back. Even some relationships can come back. But yesterday is gone forever. That's why I started understanding the value of ordinary moments. A conversation with someone you love. A quiet morning. A walk without checking your phone. A meal with your family. A moment when you can simply sit and breathe. We often wait for something big to happen before we allow ourselves to be happy. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll be happy when I become successful. I'll be happy when I achieve my goal. But life doesn't promise us that tomorrow will look exactly like today. So don't spend your entire life waiting for a future that hasn't arrived. Learn to appreciate the life you already have while still working for the life you want. And perhaps the hardest thing I learned was this. Nobody is coming to save you. People can support you. People can encourage you. People can guide you. But ultimately, you have to take responsibility for your own life. You have to wake up when you don't feel motivated. You have to keep going when nobody is watching. You have to make difficult decisions. You have to stop blaming your past for every decision you make today. Your past may explain you, but it doesn't have to control you. You are allowed to become someone different. You are allowed to change your direction. You are allowed to start again. And starting again doesn't make you weak. Sometimes, it takes more courage to start over than to continue something that no longer makes you happy. Life also taught me not to compare my journey with someone else's, because we see people's results, but we rarely see their struggles. You see someone driving a successful business. You don't see the years they spent failing. You see someone's confidence. You don't see the insecurity they had to overcome. You see the destination. You don't see the thousands of steps that came before it. So stop measuring your beginning against someone else's middle. Your journey is yours. Maybe you're moving slowly. Maybe you're starting later. Maybe you made mistakes. Maybe you're still trying to figure things out. That's okay. You don't need to have your entire life figured out today. You just need to take the next step. And finally, I learned something that changed the way I see almost everything. You don't become strong because life becomes easy. You become strong because life becomes difficult, and you keep moving anyway. Every disappointment can either become a reason to stop or a reason to grow. Every failure can either become an identity or a lesson. Every difficult chapter can either make you bitter or make you wiser. The choice isn't always easy, but eventually you realize that your scars are proof that you survived things you once thought would destroy you. So when you look at yourself today, don't only think about what you haven't achieved yet. Look at how far you've come. Remember the version of you who didn't know what you know today. Remember the nights you survived, the mistakes you learned from, the people you lost, the chances you missed, the moments you thought you couldn't handle, and yet somehow you're still here, still learning, still growing, still becoming. Maybe that's what life is really about. Not becoming perfect, not having everything figured out, but becoming a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more grateful with every chapter. So if you're going through a difficult phase right now, don't be too quick to hate your life because of one painful chapter. You may not understand its purpose today, but one day you might look back and realize, that was the chapter that made me who I am. And if this message connected with you, don't just listen to it and move on. Take a moment and think about your own life. What is one experience that changed the person you are today? Write it in the comments. And if you believe someone out there needs to hear this message today, share this video with them. Because sometimes, one simple reminder can help someone keep going. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful thoughts on life, mindset, and personal growth. Your past created your story, but your next decision can change the ending.